Good evening, my dear gamers. Tonight we take a trip back in time for a classic review of a game that has not only stood the test of time, but has also earned the hallowed title of perfect. I speak of none other than Rare's famous Banjo Kazooie, which will be soon seeing the 15th anniversary of its release. So come, join me for a stroll down memory lane and take notes on what makes this game so incredible more than a decade later. For those who haven't played Banjo Kazooie, the story is quite simple and to the point. The evil witch Gruntilda has kidnapped the cute and adorable Tootie so that she can steal her looks and be the nicest looking wench. And so it is up to Banjo the Bear and his companion Kazooie to brave the depths of Grunty's lair and rescue the poor damsel before she gets turned into a troll. What makes this seemingly generic story so memorable and effective, however, is its implementation. Today, games have a very bad habit of constantly badgering the player with, "I need to insert generic objective here in time." Make the plot seem really forced. What does Banjo Kazooie do? It places Tootie's cute little face in the pause menu, conveniently on the save and quit button. Thus, every single time the player decides it's time to take a break, you get to watch the consequences of not rescuing the little bear, and believe me, the results are pretty difficult to forget. It's subtle, yet extremely effective, and still able to keep the focus on the game and the adventure. Speaking of adventures, let's take a look at the world that Rare has presented to us. For a game that came out on the N64, it is aged pretty well. Each level features a cartoonish color palette that blends together seamlessly, something that many games even today struggle to accomplish. At the same time, though, Banjo Kazooie lets you enjoy the world as it is instead of taking emphasis away from gameplay to make you sit and stare at vistas that can only serve to show off the graphic capabilities. But what really makes this game presentation worthy of perfect is the music. I have never seen a game integrate its score in a more clever fashion by interacting with you in the same way that you interact with the level. When you're running around, the score plays normally. When you decide to go for your swim, the sound becomes muffled and echoes. Climb up to the top of Treasure Trove Cove and fades out completely, leaving the sounds of passing goals, just to tell you how high up you are and how far of a fall it is if you slip. Once again, it's subtle, yet extremely effective. What makes this game truly stand head and shoulders above all others is its design as an action-adventure puzzler. To start, there's a very clear and cut formula that gets applied to each world. There's 10 objectives, or jiggies, that allow you to open the next levels. There's 100 musical notes to find, open enchanted doors that lets you delve further into the witch's lair. While this may sound quite generic and probably get old after a while, the amount of creativity that goes into creating these challenges in each level guarantees surprises that will keep the player on their toes. Be it stealing oranges from gorillas, playing memory games with turtles, or flushing yourself down a toilet. And finally, there is the gameplay. Everything up to this point, the story, the visuals, the music, the design, all of it was tailored to place the spotlight on the player's interactive experience when playing Banjo Kazooie. And boy is it a fun game to play, dashing up hills, popping off eggs at foes, and taking wing to the sky. In terms of difficulty, this game's always rested on the easier side of the spectrum, placing emphasis less on puzzle and more on exploration. However, don't take that as a deterrent. Unless you have a perfect memory, you will be plenty busy exploring every last nook and cranny for Jinjos, Jiggies, notes, and maybe even the occasional Easter egg surprise. At the end of the day, Banjo Kazooie is very simple, yet very effective. So effective, in fact, that it serves as a template for many of Rare's titles that came after, like Donkey Kong 64, Conker's Bad Fur Day, and of course Banjo Tooie. While each of these titles feature their own claims to greatness, a close examination will show that they all rest atop the same foundation of Banjo Kazooie's perfect adventure template.